As a YouTuber or TikToker, one of the most important factors that you need to consider when making your content is if the viewer's actually interested in watching what you're producing. And one of the best techniques to actually ensure this is using subtitles. And that's exactly what I'm going to be teaching you in this video. So whether you're a casual creator, a professional, or just want to add some subtitles to your video, this video is going to be the one for you. I'm going to be going through my entire process when I subtitle my own videos, showing you how to do it step by step, and I even have free presets for you guys to use to follow along. With that being said, let's hop into After Effects and I'll show you how I do it. All right, so this is going to be the screen that you're first faced with when you open up After Effects, and that's going to be the new composition screen. I'll show you how to actually initialize your project. If you haven't used it before, don't get intimidated. I know After Effects can be super scary. But trust me, After Effects is by far the best software to make your own subtitles in. So don't worry, I got you. I'm going to make sure that you understand. So the first thing you're going to do is click on New Composition, and you're going to title this whatever you want. So for me, I'm going to do Final Subtitle Tutorial because that's what I'm doing. If you are making a TikTok and you already have your footage and whatnot, just change your width to 1080 and change your height to 1920. That's going to be the opposite of what you want your YouTube resolution to be, because 1920 by 1080 is horizontal and 1080 by 1920 is vertical, which is the TikTok resolution. And I'm going to be showing you as an example how to subtitle TikToks. And then what you can do is literally change your duration to whatever. I always like to keep it longer than a minute so I have a lot of space to play with, but this is what your project's going to end up looking like. Make sure you save your project when you first start by pressing Control S, and you're just going to name it whatever you want. So I'm just going to do something like this. And then from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find my footage. This is literally an example of one of my TikToks here that I'm going to drag in, and we can see it's looking like it's great. It's in the right resolution, and obviously we don't have any subtitles on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set my duration to the very end of the TikTok, because that'll help establish a workspace, and this will be front beginning. So as an example, I'm going to show you how to subtitle the first 5 seconds of this video. My first step is going through and adding markers. The thing about After Effects is it gets super tedious to add markers sometimes, because you have to right click, go to markers, add marker, whatnot. That's super complicated. So let me show you a quick workaround. Go up here to edit, go down to keyboard shortcuts, and you're just gonna type in marker. And right here, it will say add layer marker. You can click on it and literally add whatever keybind you want. Mine is N because I don't use that for anything. So you can make it whatever you want. That'll be the button you're gonna be hitting to add markers every single time you wanna add one. Make sure you press OK. And then like we can see when we press our button that we just bound, it'll add a marker on the layer right here. This is what the markers look like inside of After Effects. So basically, the first step in my process is adding markers like I mentioned, and to actually be able to view our audio form, we're gonna press LL, and that'll actually show the waveforms of the audio. So we can see that each individual word has its own spike in the audio right here. This streamer, and what I do is I use this to help me actually add markers to the layer. So what you're gonna wanna do now is come through and add a marker to either every single word or every other word. Every single word is a lot better because it's more engaging in your videos. I personally use every single word, and I subtitle each individual word itself. It does take a bit longer, but trust me, it's worth it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come through here and add markers. This streamer absolutely hates his setup. A lot of streamers, and that is the first 5 seconds marked. Obviously, you'd come through and do the entire thing if you're subtitling your entire video. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut this off just to show you guys this example little right here. Obviously, you wouldn't do this if you're doing your entire video. Since it's a sample, I want to show you a small workspace just so it's easier to follow along with. Now what you're going to do is you're going to add a text layer. So to do this, click on the text button right here, and then just do this. And you can type in your first word. For me, it's this. And then I'm gonna change the font size right here by using the text menu and change it to 140, or actually 150 should be good. And you're gonna wanna download whatever font you wanna use as subtitles. I personally use Akira Expanded because it's my favorite font by far, but you can use whatever. Comica Axis is like the font Mr. Beast used. I'll put that on the screen. And now what you wanna do is go up here to window, make sure this align thing is checked, and then you're gonna press the little middle center button right here. Next, you're gonna wanna bring your text down a small little bit just so it's centered in the image. Obviously, if you have no face cam, you're going to bring it up and actually center it in the middle here, and you can use this just by using the center tool. But for me, I like to center it in this space because I have my webcam up here. Next, you're going to want to add the presets that I have in the description. So add the subtitle drop shadow one. So just that's called Shorts drop shadow, and we can see it actually adds a drop shadow to the text right here, which kind of makes it pop more. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna come through and cut on every single marker that we've added. So we can see right here, press Control-Shift-D to cut, Control-Shift-D, 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 Control-Shift-D. And literally, once you get fast at it, you can just go through, cut each individual subtitle layer. So they will end up being their own word essentially. Now what I do is I go through and I change each individual word according to what I'm saying. This streamer, and we can see streamer. And the big thing is if your text gets too big, you're gonna wanna change it down to like 120. Streamer, absolutely. It depends on the length of the word, obviously. We'll probably do 115 for that one. Absolutely hates, that's fine. His setup a lot. You obviously get the idea. I'm gonna go through and subtitle the rest of this. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through and actually add the subtitle animation preset that I have in the description. So to do this, you'll have to manually adjust it for each layer, but you'll come up here, you go to stretch subtitle animation. I do have a second one. It's the exact same process. And we can see that we have these 4 keyframes right here. Once we open up scale. So to open up scale, you can press U and that just shows the keyframes. You'll drag this to the middle of the layer, drag the other one to the end, and then you'll just press Control C to copy and you'll paste it to the next layer, follow the same process, put that in the middle, bring this one to the end, put these in the middle. And then we go literally along the entire thing and add these keyframes and the preset, which will actually allow your text to have a bit of movement and it won't be static. Because the number one thing that I see in a lot of TikToks is that text tends to be pretty static, and that can be pretty disengaging when it comes to being a viewer. And you guys can probably agree with me. If you have seen TikToks and you see people with subtitle animations, chances are you probably watched their video a lot longer than you did the one with the static subtitles. And literally once we've actually come through, we just finish adding them to every single individual layer. And you can literally see me. I've gotten pretty fast at this because I literally just do this on every single one of my TikToks. Go through, copy, paste, and just like that. And then if you see one where it cuts off at the very end, you literally just go to the left and just like that. Now you can see this streamer absolutely hates his setup. A lot of streamers will put a lot of money into. We can see that it does like a little expand sort of animation here. And I'll quickly show you what the other one looks like. I'll delete the thing from here. The other preset, if you come over to where we actually have the preset saved to, I have this one here called subtitle content. And this one's more of like a zoom one where it pops out. So this one, streamer, this one just kind of pops up just like that. This one is more of like a text expand kind of one, and it bounces. So I personally like the expansion one. It comes down to personal preference. But yeah, that's how you subtitle your videos. Obviously, if you're doing a YouTube video and let's say you have like a YouTube type of format here, which will look a lot like this. I'm just going to expand this to make it fill the screen. But realistically, if you did have a YouTube video, let's say this is your YouTube video here. Obviously, it's not perfect. You might want to bring the size of your text down a little bit to like 100 or something. And then you can bring the positioning down to whatever you want. So you can go like this. Absolutely hates his setup. That would kind of be what a YouTube video looks like. But I hope this video helped you guys out in terms of subtitling, because it's one of the most important things. And I see a lot of people just skip it in total. Definitely implement these into your TikTok. If this video helped you out, make sure to drop a like, comment, subscribe. Good luck with your content, and I'll see you guys later.